everybody. I just thought it was time for me to come back here and be like, this is where I've been. This is what's up. So, I'm driving in my car right now. But don't worry. I'm looking at the road. I may not be looking at y'all so much, but I'm looking at the road. Also, you like my new hair? If you like my new hair, hit the like button. And if you don't like my new hair, still hit the like button. And if you like saying indubitably, then you should subscribe. So, I have been going through it. I am not asking for any pity. I'm just explaining what happened and why I haven't been making videos. So, I had a friend that went on hospice, and I'm a caretaker by trade, so I obviously went and took care of her. And she didn't need me to. She probably didn't even want me to. But there I was. And as y'all know, I've got DID. So I've got a little 4-year-old part and a little 9-year-old part. And all of that was really traumatic to them. And then I've got other parts that were just not able to cope with that. Most of us. But I did it because one of my parts really needed to see her through, really needed to be there for her and to see her through this. And so I did. She ended up passing away right in front of me. And it was really hard. She looked like she was in lots of pain. It was tough. But the big thing is that while I was taking care of her, there were times that I had to administer her morphine and her Xanax, which were administered via needleless syringe. And one of my parts used to do drugs when she felt sad. So when all of this was going on, I was just kind of on a downhill spiral, not taking care of me, not taking care of all my parts, just kind of, I was just kind of letting my parts take over because I just didn't know what to do, and I had never felt that kind of grief. I mean, this girl was like my soul sister. I mean, everything that happened to her happened to me. It was just, our lives were mirrors. So I was thinking, okay, well, if she died, then now I'm definitely gonna die. And I just couldn't see her go. I couldn't. It was like watching myself die. So, Hoka took over. She's the one that used to use drugs when she's the trauma holder. She holds all the trauma for the system. And it hurts sometimes. And when I let her out, especially if I let her out while I'm being traumatized, she doesn't know what to do. She's about 15, 16, and all she's ever done is drugs. She doesn't have coping mechanisms, coping skills. So I was calling my therapist, psychiatrist, everyone I could think of, my doctor even, calling everyone trying to get help so that I wouldn't relapse. I was telling them, I'm going to relapse. I need help. Like, y'all need to raise my anxiety medication. put me on some sleep meds, like something. And everybody was just kind of unavailable because it was around Christmas time. And then I went over to my sister's house, and she literally put a plate of Coke in front of me with a straw. And it was done. And I started doing Coke. And then I started shooting up Coke. And then putting other things in the needles. And it was just done from there on. I relapsed. My first relapse in 9.5 years. Got an infection from using some dirty shit. And then the infection spread all over my body. I may or may not insert a picture here when it was at its worst. Ended up having to go to the urgent care twice, and one ER once, and a dermatologist, until finally the dermatologist is the one that was like, no, you need to go to another ER that's bigger than the one you already went to. And as soon as I went there, they took one look at me and admitted me. And I stayed there for 3 days and 2 nights. My first time being admitted to a hospital. But, I mean, and they gave me a 70% chance of getting out of it. So I had a 30% chance of dying at that point. I had very little will to live for the first day. I was actually asking them to just put me on hospice because this is too painful. I don't want to do it. But by the second day, I was starting to see some improvements. Here. I was weaned off of my addictions, and I could actually see the light, which I always think of when I think of the light. I think of my husband because he seems to be my light, and somehow I got through it. And I had to stay home for another week and a half, and most of that was bedridden. And then I had to go back to the doctor over and over. She had to lance this thing and change my meds. And I had the most strong antibiotics. But I made it through. I'm like unkillable. And a lot of people would have died. Like 30% of the people that get it, like, would die. So that made me pretty, like, feel pretty good that, like, hey, look what I did, like, make it through it. And so now and also the weird thing is that whenever it got really, really bad, all of my parts just kind of went into their bedrooms. They all have bedrooms in my head. It's like a hallway with bedrooms. They all got scared, like they were blaming themselves. But then whenever I started getting better, they all started coming out of their rooms, and one by one, like testing the waters. And I had to have a talk with them that, like, when I'm sick, when I'm not doing well, I want them out. I want them doing well themselves. They don't have to be sad just because I'm sad. They don't have to be broken just because I'm broken. That if I have the parts of my head doing well and just continuing to live their life, then it'll be easier for me to get back to me than if I just stop hearing all of my other parts that help me make decisions and help me live my life. They are parts of me. They're my compassionate sides. They're my childlike sides. They're my stern sides. They're all of my parts. I can't just have the only part that's sad and sick be the only, and then I'm just stuck with sad and sick. I don't have any of it. It's not what I'm used to. So I had a talk with them, and then I gave them a bunch of presents, and all very personal presents. I'll get into how I gave them the presents later, another time. Let me know if you're interested. But yeah, I feel super healed and ready to conquer pretty much anything. And Hoka is starting to, what's the word? Or like, she's becoming one with me. Integrate. Hoka is starting to integrate. Because, I don't know, I feel like I just understand her on a different level now. And she's just tired of being alone. She wants to be part of me. She wants to be understood, so she wants to be a bigger part of me in the system. She wants to be all in now. It's hard to explain, but she wants to integrate, and I'm all for it. So that's cool. I'm back at work, helping all them old people do old people stuff, and not loving this under chin, but it's okay. I still have scars on my face that are still healing, but it's okay. All things come in time. You know, it'll work itself out. I'm just happy to be alive. I think I've gotten a new perspective on life too. And my husband says, you know, I've always apologized to him, like, I'm so sorry that I put him through all that crap with addiction and, I mean, making him come out. I mean, I didn't make him, but he would come out to my friend's house and help me with her, help me be with her, because he just didn't want me to do it alone. But I apologized that I did that, and that he felt he needed to help, and that just the last few months of our life has been one thing after another with me, and he just stood by my side, and like ride or die. I mean, just like a husband should. But he's done it way better than I ever expected anyone to be able to stand by anyone else. So he stood by me with joy, happy to do it, never complained. And I just am so grateful that I had him. He's definitely my ride or die. And I recommend all y'all get you a man that's a ride or die. And also I recommend like a dad bod man ride or die, because it's real nice curling up on that tummy. And and then he'll buy you like nice fancy rings and stuff, and yeah. But so yeah, that's just me being super real. I might edit the pictures in that I said I was gonna edit. I might not. You might just see my hands up there. Let me know if you want to see the pictures. They're really like jarring. I have some people in my head that are like, no, don't do it. So You're just gonna see my hand because I'm not gonna really edit this video. I might, probably not. As you can see, I'm like turning my wheel, which means I'm pulling up. So stop looking at me.